Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video, and so I'm gonna be doing my review of RWBY, um, Volume 8, Chapter 12, Episode 12. For the creation episode here, which just came out for free members today. Well, hopefully you're seeing this when it should be uploaded. I'll get more on that in another video, but let's get to this. So the episode starts off with it appears to be Penny, who travels by herself to, surrender herself to Ironwood. Before she comes, we see Winter talking briefly to Ironwood as the Ops decide to go and fend off Crow and Robin. Winter elects to stay with Ironwood, but as it appears, once Penny shows up, it turns out it is not Penny, but it is Emerald, and also they have, the team is, Team Jean is basically already there with Oscar and everyone. And Winter basically aids in it, and they all beat up on Ironwood, and he is captured. So this is a good moment for the heroes. So then while this is going on, you see Robin and Crow. They're fending off, the Ops and beating them up. They eventually take them down. They end up showing a flashback of the plan, which before they even arrive, they show a soldier eating shot. So that was kind of already signs to come that there's a double cross going in to Ironwood's plan. But I already kind of figured out that they were going this direction, especially since Winter didn't kill one of the Ops that had been captured, that was going to get killed by Ironwood. So they show a flashback where they're basically making the plan. Weiss calls Winter and basically plans it all out. She's actually with the prisoner. And he asks her, why didn't you, help me out? Because you were about to get shot. And then once they get out of the elevator, you see Robin and Crow. And they don't actually show what they say to each other, but you pretty much know that they're planning what they're planning. So, yeah, pretty good fight scenes, very good action. We get Team RWBY going to the vault. I should also mention that Emerald, when she revealed herself, was kind of an epic moment too. Getting back to the vault, they go to the vault because they know where it is. They set up the plan, basically, Weiss's brother, on where it is. And so Team RWBY goes there. They open up the vault. When they open up the vault, they manage to freeze time. So that was quite interesting. And by freezing time, that allowed Penny to, stay in her state. So then they go into this whole idea of basically they want to basically recreate her. And we're going to get into a lot of this because I've just kind of thrown my hands up at this point and waved the goddamn white flag, because this whole thing is a complete plot hole. It doesn't make sense at all. I could make a whole bunch of videos on why this is a plot hole, but they already had a plot hole in a plot hole to begin with this, by making Penny the Maiden to begin with. And we've kind of we've covered that before on this channel, but I'll try to explain it as much as I can here, because it's dumb. But they tried to write themselves out of it, but at the same time they wrote themselves in a weird way of doing it. Okay, so the genie character, just like Jin, this is a guy, muscular genie, comes out, and basically his ability, instead of asking questions, is he can basically recreate stuff, as long as he has the specs to review. Now he basically, they already given the spec about RWBY, about Penny, about to being the dying. And RWBY basically says, well, she's not the, we already know about that, but we need you to help recreate her, because she's not a normal girl. She's a robot. And he looks at her and he's like, oh, so they give the specs. Now, the original plan was for him to basically take the robot parts and the soul out and put it into a new body for Penny, and so Penny can now be this person instead of this person that has the virus in it. And then the genie explains that it might not exactly work out that way, and then they basically get into a conversation where, well, just take out the robot parts and just use her soul, all her human organs and her soul. And my head just exploded when they made the statement, because I'm like, that makes no goddamn sense. It makes no goddamn sense. I can't even get into the reasonabilization of how anyone can explain how that makes sense. First of all, Penny has no actual body parts that were humanistic. All right, she has part of her creator's soul inside of her. Okay, that kind of makes her more human than other robots. But at the same time, she still was created from scratch as a robot. And again, it makes no goddamn sense. Alright? It makes no goddamn sense. The best analogy I can give to this whole ordeal is, this is basically the opposite way of how it turned out for Android 18. Because when Android 18... when Krillin wanted to get rid of the robotic parts in Dragon Ball Z, the Shenron said that was beyond his power. And then Krillin was like, well, can you at least take out the bomb? So he took out the bomb because he could do that. But it's just, keep in mind, Android 18 is actually a cyborg, okay? And was actually once a human that got cyborg robotic parts. Okay, Penny was created as a robot that managed to get a part soul from her creator with inside of her. Okay? So, oh my god, what the frig? I don't get it anymore. Anyways, where were we at this? Okay, so basically the genie thing does it. Penny pretty much looks the same, with the exception of her boots, because her boots were robotic. But her clothes weren't, apparently. No, those clothes were probably real clothes. Well, how come they never get damaged? How come her clothes never get damaged then? Like, they never get, like, all screwed up or anything? Like, they never get holes or anything? Like, that just, whatever. I wouldn't want her to do that anyways, but I'm just saying, like, the writing consistency makes no sense. Anyways, so everything basically shows up for Penny in her new body, but she basically is no longer a robot. She is basically a human. And basically the remaining, her old body is like now with all the virus and stuff, and it just kind of unravels, and then it just eventually just dies. Penny then hugs Team RWBY as like a real human. So yeah. Again, this is a huge plot hole, but then again, Penny becoming the Winter Maiden was a plot hole in itself, as we've kind of already explained before. Look, and I just want to put it on the record, because I know I'm being kind of a little disservious towards Penny, but at the same time, you guys got to understand, I'm very consistent when it comes to certain stuff like this, and I like Penny. I have always liked Penny. I'm glad that she was brought back when she was, but I gotta keep these reviews consistent. I have to keep them objective. And people need to understand that, just because I'm hugely a fan of Penny does not mean that I'm not going to call out bad, in my opinion, bad direction, that stuff that doesn't make sense, for what it is. And yes, I get that she's based off of Pinocchio, but, I mean, let's face it, Pinocchio was wood, and Penny is a robot. And Pinocchio wasn't exactly, like, trying to go off of consistency, where RWBY is supposed to go off of consistency. So, and I guess the easiest response to this is, well, it's the genie. The genie can do anything, It just depends on the genie's abilities. I guess you can go with that logic, but it still doesn't explain how you can literally transfer organic parts to Penny when she didn't have organic parts to begin with, besides the soul that she was given. As all her parts, everything about her that was created was all created from being a robot. So she's not someone that was a human that got cyborg parts like Android 18 and Android 17, so it doesn't make sense. And I know some people are going to try to get me on, well, what about Dragon Ball Z has a lot of plot holes too. That is true, but I was a kid when Dragon Ball Z came out, so that doesn't excuse a lot of the plot holes that Z has had over the years, but again, that still doesn't change this fact here with Penny, because again, it is a different situation altogether, because Penny was not a cyborg. She was an actual android, unlike 18 and 17, who were actually cyborgs, not androids, not to be confused by their names, because they were actually cyborgs, because they were humans first and then robots. Penny was actually created from scratch as a robot, not human. Okay, so nonetheless, let's get into the rest of this, because I don't want to spend too much time on the plot hole of Penny right now. So that happens. They do that. They do their whole thing emotionally with Penny. Once they get back in there, they then ask the genie guy, to muscle dude, to basically now basically clear out Atlas, and try to basically transfer the city over as well as the people. There ends up being mirrors everywhere from every place, so they can all go into it and basically kind of evacuate everybody. You see some people in the people that were all evacuated. You see them going in, checking it out. The genie, I believe, explained that they basically have to watch out when they're in there, though, because if they take a wrong turn going in there, that they could be stuck. So there is some kind of issues. And getting to Penny, too, we haven't really seen that much of what Penny can do now that she is a human, as it appears. It seems like she has no more robotic parts anymore. So we'll see what they do with that whole aspect. As well as if she still has the maiden powers. Like, does she still get to keep the maiden powers? I'm sure that she will, because, we are talking about inconsistency with Penny's character right now. But the genie did say that, there's always a consequence, and that's the thing with genies, there's always is a consequences usually when it comes to stuff like this. So I'm feeling like there's going to be some type of consequence with Penny, for them doing what they were doing. We will see. In terms of the maiden powers, she'll probably still be the Winter Maiden. I can't see a scenario where this won't happen. But yeah, they do the mirror thing. You see some people going in, and that's all we see from them. At the end of the episode, we do see Cinder, and that's pretty much all we see is Cinder looking shocked. I think she's seen one of the mirrors. And that is a wrap for the episode. It's a really good episode. It's just the whole Penny plot, whole thing. As someone who likes consistencies, that just really bugs me. I know a lot of people like it, or they just like it because she's a human. But I like consistencies. You guys got to understand that by now. And that's why I'm really critical about the stuff that they've been doing with Penny lately. Because I like that they brought her back because it made sense because she was a robot at the time when her legs got cut off. But ever since that, once they made her the maiden, it didn't make sense and why she could get the power when she was a robot. As I've explained this in detail before. But now they kind of wrote themselves out of it, I guess, but really not with the whole genie aspect, because they can just basically say that, hey, this genie can do whatever as long as he has these specs. They kind of wrote themselves out of it, but at the same time, they wrote themselves into it again by kind of not making it make sense. Penny's a human. Well, at least it appears she's a human. Who knows? Maybe she'll actually have robot parts still, come out later, because there's side effects with the genie wishing thing or whatever. Who knows at this point anymore? I have no idea anymore what they're doing with Penny. Outside of the Penny thing, everything else was pretty good. It was a good. I mean, the moment was a really good moment for Penny that she was still alive, and they managed to keep her alive. But I mean, it's just the whole aspect of how we got there. It just kind of bugs me. Nonetheless, I'm glad that Ironwood is in jail where he belongs, because he has just completely turned for the worst. I think I also forgot to mention there was a scene where Winter does talk to her father about getting them out, and she basically said, don't worry, we'll get you out, And she's like, "Oh, thank you, Winter." And he's like, "Don't thank me. It was Weiss's idea." So yeah. Yeah. That's the episode, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. If you like to hear my reviews, please subscribe. Discord link in the description. Yeah. And I'm the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace.